The third industrial revolution.
So, where does this take us? Well, if you look at the fossil fuel industry and this fossil fuel civilization which we've been run on for the last couple of centuries, this system may actually collapse by around 2028. Recent studies by the banking and financial and insurance industries show that the utilities costs of solar and wind has just dipped below the cost of energy of any other source, such as oil, gas, coal, or nuclear. In terms of nuclear, that's already gone because wind and solar are now already cheaper than nuclear. And the problem with nuclear is that it depends on a centralized power station. And as we've explained, that will always be more expensive than a distributed, laterally scaled, horizontal, networked, cooperative model. So nuclear has already gone because it's too expensive. And solar and wind have now dipped below the cost of coal and oil and even natural gas. What this means is that there is $100 trillion funds in stranded assets. This is the biggest bubble in history. What it means is if someone has already invested in a coal power plant or has invested in gas exploration rights, or if they have stored fossil fuels to be used, and if they have refineries and pipelines, these people will never get their money back. They'll never get their investment back. These investments are usually bought through a 30-year investment plan where they get back profits over a 30-year period. But they won't be able to get their investments back because solar and wind are now cheaper than these fossil fuels and these nuclear energies. In fact, solar and wind have been on an exponential curve in terms of being cheaper and cheaper each year, just like computer chips have. So computers have been getting cheaper and cheaper each year, whilst also becoming more and more technologically advanced. And solar and wind have been on similar exponential curves, becoming cheaper and cheaper every year, whilst their efficiencies become more advanced each year too. It's funny because IBM once said that we'll need 5 computers for the whole world, as they're too expensive. No one expected Intel's engineers, who doubled the capacity and halved the cost of these microchips every 2 years. And that's Moore's law. There are now smartphones for $25 that have more computing power than what put our astronauts on the moon. Smartphones are literally giving power to the people. And so is solar and wind. Power to the people.
The third industrial revolution.